of Abandoned and Alone. It's been a while. I'm glad you're joining me once again. Life sometimes has its way of interfering with fun stuff like streaming. But I'm back. I'm ready to dive into the catacombs of Paris with my good friend Carolyn Fern and see what we get up to. Last time around, if you remember, a little refresher since it's been a while, Carolyn made it through Paris itself and Phantom of Truth, thanks mostly to help from Alyssa Graham, who's the MVP of that game, allowing me to avoid tons of enemies, and essentially got to the end, took out the organist enough times, and found Nigel Ingram, and had a successful resolution. Did not have much in the way of victory points, but I did have 4 to spend, in addition to 2 that I never spent when I first built Carolyn. So I picked up Charisma, and I picked up 2 copies of Banish, a brand new card in the latest Mythos pack, with the thought that I can, she needs help avoiding enemies, and Alyssa might not always be there, so I can hopefully, with Pallid Mask leading to big maps, I can throw them across the map. This is kind of a specific tech for Pallid Mask and some of the upcoming scenarios, like God, I'm blanking on the name right now. I wanted to say Where Doom Awaits, but that's the penultimate of Dunwich, the Carcosa one. The Storm one, that one? I'm having a mental blank on that. I'll remember it in a second, I'm sure. What else am I forgetting? Oh, I forgot to introduce myself. I'm Ian. This is Abandoned and Alone in Mythos Busters production. And this is a place where I take a solo lone investigator through a campaign. This time around, if this is your first time watching, if you're jumping into the middle of it here, I have Carolyn Fern, who picked up from Father Mateo, who was lost in Unspeakable Oath. So, with that all being said, a couple of changes in the interim since last time I streamed. One is we now have this handy-dandy new font for our title screen. But let's go ahead and switch over to our actual game, and you'll see a bigger change. Well, that's not Octagon, is it? Yeah, I am trying out streaming on Tabletop Simulator instead, for a few reasons. One is just that there's kind of this continuing debate in the community about which one is better. I don't necessarily want to take sides. I've always preferred Octagon, but after people going on and on about how good Tabletop Simulator is, I decided to give it another try. And in typical fashion for me, just gonna try it out on stream and see how it goes. And do it live. So, I apologize for any kind of hiccups along the way as I get more familiar with it. I've tried to familiarize myself for it, so I kind of know what I'm doing. But if there's some little hiccups along the way, please forgive me. But we'll see how it goes, and please let me know in the comments, and message me, etc. If you have a strong preference, if you would rather I stick with Octagon, you like that display, or if you're digging the Tabletop Simulator, this new display. So let me know what you prefer. We'll see how it goes today. And I may change back to Octagon, or I may keep going with this one. We'll see. So, I think that's enough preamble. Let's jump into the game. We got Carolyn all set up. We have 1 mental trauma here from discovering Nigel Ingram's body, I guess. He was alive when we encountered him, and then he went into another room and is dead. So even for a logical therapist like Carolyn Fern, that was quite jarring. So she has 1 mental trauma. Got a charisma, and this is our opening hand. I have not done the mulligan yet, so you can see Banish there, a brand new card. Other than Banish, I'm kind of tempted to throw everything back. I would think I want to keep one Banish just because it's in case I don't get any other enemy solutions. Although in the early game it's kind of useless because the map won't be filled out, but I feel like I want to have that on hand. But everything else, I think I'm going to throw back. So we're going to go ahead and throw these on the table. And see what we get. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Boop, boop, boop. Okay, so we got St. Hubert's Key, we got some horror healing, logical reasoning, we got our mind over matter, take the initiative. I'm not seeing Peter or Alyssa, which is what I really wanted to see to take advantage of that charisma, but hopefully we'll see them soon. So let's go ahead and throw our cards back in the deck. Throw this here. One of the things, if you haven't used Tabletop Simulator before, is you notice it'll auto-populate the resources on stuff, which is pretty cool. Okay, so first turn of the game, let's go ahead and look at what we're facing. Let's adjust our map a little bit. So we are looking at 6 Doom on our first agenda. Our first objective is to find the man in the Pallid Mask. He's somewhere in the catacombs. And yeah, that's about it. Taking a look at our initial map. This is our catacombs deck. We started here at the gate to hell. And we have one above and one below. Since I did interview Haruko, I can choose one to look at. Let's go ahead and flip this one. See what's there. Okay, that auto-populates some clues. This is the Candlelit Tunnels. You can test 3 to read an ancient sign. Intellect 3. If you succeed, you can look at the revealed side of any catacombs. That's better later in the game. That doesn't help me too much right now. When it's revealed, put the top 2 catacombs into play to the left and right. So that'll be a little interesting. So let's put one there and one there. Okay. That's our map. I'll put this a little up here so it doesn't get confusing. That's not our location. That's the catacombs deck. I think I can get started then. Oh, I did forget one thing. I did forget to, I'm supposed to have taken the man in the Pallid Mask out of here. So we'll do that. And we'll give this a good shuffle. Okay. So he's there. Okay. First action. Let me get my 5 resources. First action I think is going to be to play St. Hubert's Key. Yep. So, first action down to 1 resource. We'll play St. Hubert's Key to give us +1 will, +1 intellect, -2 sanity. So that puts us at 5 intellect and 4 will right now. And I think the main thing with Carolyn, with her limited ability to handle enemies, especially the big demon spawn, death spirit, whatever it is that comes out, spoilers, is I need to go quick and stay ahead. So, this has a shroud of 1 and 2 clues. I say we just go ahead and try to clear that off. And if we need to, and an enemy pops up, we can try to evade it and move to the next location. So that'll be our plan. So, investigate 1. Draw a chaos token. -2. So 5 to 2 is 3 to 1. So we get 1 clue. And we'll do it again. Elder sign. I forgot what her elder sign is. Heal 1 horror. Well, we do have. Yeah, we have the 1 mental trauma. And after one of the card effects heals horror, then I can get a resource. So that's nice. So I get a resource from Carolyn's ability, and I heal that horror. Perfect. It's a good start. Let's go ahead and grab these clues. Here we go. Clues here. Cool. 2 clues, end of the turn, no enemies on the board. We're going to go ahead and flip our action. These are tracking my actions up here in case that wasn't clear. And we'll gain another resource, up to 3 resources, and draw a card. So again, for those of you who end up just watching this in audio only, I'm going to try to, as much as I can, describe what's going on. Okay. So, drew an unexpected courage. So in hand we have banish, take the initiative, mind over matter, logical reasoning, and unexpected courage, and 3 resources. And let's go to the mythos phase. We'll add 1 doom. 1 out of 6. And let's draw our encounter card. Our first encounter card is the Pit Below. Attached to your location, if there is no copy of the Pit Below attached, yeah, there's not. It's going to get +1 shroud. At the end of the round, each investigator takes 3 damage. Well, that's a perfect draw because we got all our clues. The shroud doesn't matter, and we're leaving anyway. So this is one of the things I'm not sure about in TTS. Can I switch cameras still holding this card? Let's find out. Oh yeah, cool. Yeah, this is pretty snazzy. Liking it so far. Let's just sit for that. Trying to figure out a good way to put it without putting it there. Well, Pit Below is there. Let's just remember that. Does that discard even if no one takes the damage? I believe so. Let me double check the wording. At the end of the round. Yeah. It is. The discard is kind of a separate clause even if no one takes the damage. It just happens at the end of the round. So yeah, that's pretty much a nothing for me. So a good start for Carolyn, which probably means that it's all gonna go horribly wrong by the end of it. So first action, I'm gonna go ahead and move Carolyn to, what is this thing called again? The Candlelit Tunnels. 3 shroud and 2 clues. Should I just keep moving? I have the clues to keep moving, and this doesn't have victory points. I don't really have anything in hand that I want to play at the moment. If I have 2 actions left, so if I move into something nasty, then I could always move back. Okay, yeah, so second action, let's move, and I'll spend a clue once I move back to my board. As a reminder, I'm spending a clue because additional costs for you to enter any of these unrevealed catacombs, you gotta spend 1 clue as a group. Well, I'm a group of 1. Abandoned and alone. Okay, let's flip this. This is the Stone Archways. Ignore the text on unrevealed locations. That basically means that you get to move into locations for free that are adjacent to Stone Archways. When Stone Archways is revealed, put the topmost catacombs in the catacombs deck into play to the right. And it has no clues. So let's get a catacombs to the right. Okay. And I'm not going to move again, just because I remember there being some catacombs that do like some end of turn effects if you're there, and I don't want to deal with that. So let's go back to our tableau here. Let's get rid of a clue, because we spent one to enter and we used 2 actions. And just trying to think of what I should do with my 3rd action. Generally, drawing 3rd action is not recommended, because you can draw some weaknesses and not have time to deal with them. I need to remind myself of what my weaknesses are, because that will help inform my decision. My weaknesses are doomed, which just would give me horror right now and bring me closer to death. Lost Soul is a test. I guess the main one would be if I drew to fight the Black Wind, which, if there was any horror assigned to an investigator and it was not healed, would put 1 doom. There wasn't any horror put on me this round, though. Okay. So I think I could safely draw last action, actually. Well, as safe as Arkham gets. So let's draw. Gotta get the hang of drawing just 1 card. Oh, look who it is! Everyone's favorite cat. Favorite cat? Foolishness. Okay. Not necessarily the ally I wanted, but I don't know. Maybe I'll play with it. So nothing to do during enemy phase. We're gonna refresh everything. Missed one. 4 resources. We draw to add to our hand. Our friend Peter Sylvester. Peter Sylvester, sorry. Okay. We are going to add 1 doom, 2 out of 6 doom. We are going to draw and a counter card, which is... did that just move the one that was already there? This might be a little, well, that would have been discarded anyway, so let me just double check. Is that what it was? No, it's actually a new copy. I thought, like, automatically it had moved. Oh, did I not shuffle the deck? Yeah, this is one of those technical things. Well, what I'm going to do is search and see if this was unshuffled or not, and either way, I'll go ahead and shuffle it. No? It was shuffled. Yeah. Wait, was it? No, this wasn't shuffled, was it? I can't tell if this was shuffled or not. So, here's what I'm going to do. I don't really want to go back and reset that first turn. We'll just say that was the first card. We're going to discard this one. So we'll keep the one that was in play last turn, but what I'm going to do is shuffle it now, and we'll redo that draw. That actually would have been a good draw for me. But out of fairness, we'll do it that way. Okay, let's see what I get. In the chat, Retro Daniel asking why am I using Tabletop Simulator rather than Octagon? Pretty much an experiment. Tabletop Simulator is used a lot in the community, and I just wanted to experience it and see how it would go using that instead of Octagon. It also happens to be updated more quickly, so as I think about doing some of the more recent campaigns, that might be an issue. Okay. Where was I? Okay, yeah, encounter draw. Okay, so now we get shadow behind you. Put into play in my threat area. So another cool thing is they have this clearly marked threat area here. So as an action, I can look behind me. If I don't, then I either have to discard all my resources or discard all cards in hand. Then discard shadow behind you. We've talked about it on the podcast, but I love this encounter design. Okay. So there's not a ton of time pressure on me, so I think I'll spend the action to get rid of it. Just double check that gets working properly. Second action, kind of want to play Peter. Part of me is, because everyone bags on foolishness, part of me is kind of tempted to try to use him. Peter's such a good money generator, though. If I can take some horror, I guess I'll play it safe and play Peter. Well, how about this? First, let's move. Just to see what the next location is. And because of the effect on stone archways, I don't have to spend a clue. Okay, so I think this is the one I was thinking about. Narrow shaft, when you would move... Oh no, this is a when you would move effect. So I just have to pass that test. If you fail, take 1 damage and cancel the effects of the move. When it's revealed, put the topmost deck into play above or to the right of narrow shaft. Let's see. And it has 2 shroud and 1 clue. So above or to the right, I think I'm going to put it above. One of the things I like to do in Pallid Mask is create these little loops, so that it's not just like a straight hallway that makes it really hard to avoid enemies, because you have to go through them, but I like little loops that you can kind of move around them. Programs with wolves, you don't actually discard the shadow. Yeah, you just take the action to look behind you. You don't actually discard it. I just did it for simplicity's sake, but technically, according to the rules, it stays there, and then you discard it at the end of your turn or round. I think it's your turn. At the end of your turn, if you did not perform the above ability, you must either discard your resources or discard all cards in your hand. Oh yeah, that only goes off if you don't perform the ability. So it's kind of an action soak until you just do it. Yeah, good catch on that. I forgot about that. So let's go ahead and put that back. Let me hold on to that and put that back in my threat area. Usually I'm just eating that effect. This time I'm ignoring it. Okay. So going back here. Still have an action left. So with our last action then, let's go ahead and spend 3. So from 4 resources down to 1 to play our friend, the big man on campus, Peter. And then my plan is probably just to eat the loss of resources from shadow behind you. Actually, well, I did what I did. But probably the smarter move would just have been to play Peter and eat the loss this turn. But whatever. That's the end of the turn. And get a resource up to 2. 2 resources, draw a card, which is Emergency Quiche. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And Mythos Phase. 3 out of 6 Doom. Draw an encounter card, which is... Really? I did shuffle for the record. This is another shadow behind you. Oh, it's limit 1 per investigator though, so that's actually a whiff. That's good. I mean, it kind of would be a whiff anyway, because if you don't perform it, it's just gonna... Well, I guess you would have to pick both options. Anyway, let's discard that. So that was actually a good draw for me. Okay, let's see. Well, I think first things first, we're gonna lose our resources, but let's take a look at our map. When you would move, I kind of want to use my taking initiative, which would be, let's see, 5 to 3, which is a decent chance. But if I do that, then I can't. Did I just spend a turn getting a clue? And then doing what else, though? Huh. I have a bit of a funny plan. Let's see. Yeah, let's be weird. Let's get weird. May come back to bite me later, but I kind of want to get this victory point. But if I get the victory point, then take the initiative will only be 2 icons, which will be 4. Although I could pitch Unexpected Courage to it for 6 to 3. Okay. Well, either way, let us investigate first at 5v2. That is a skull, which is minus for each location away, I believe. So we are 1, 2, 3. So that's minus 3, so that's just enough to get a clue. Here that I can copy. So back to 2 clues. We will discard the one that's there. Okay. So that in mind. So when I said I was going to get weird, what I was thinking is I could play Quiche to get up to 5 and then play Foolishness for my 4 to try to get my Foolishness experiment and then basically just eat losing 1 resource. Alternatively, I could just try to move. And take the initiative and Unexpected Courage, which would put me with Carolyn Ferns' 2 up to 6 to 3. If I don't, I would be 5 to 3 at the beginning of next turn. Man, I kind of really want to play Foolishness though. Yeah, you know what? I did this series to do strange things, so let's do strange things. I am going to spend 1 action to play Quiche. Put that in my discard pile. That means I go up to 5 resources. And last action, I'm going to play Foolishness. I feel like this is one of those things that's going to be replayed later. I'll just put it here in one of the spare slots. Foolishness does come in with 3 horror. So let's get some horror for my friend Foolishness. As my cat in real life looks at me. No doubt jealous of this virtual cat. Okay. And that's my turn. No enemies on the board. Flip. Sorry, I have to resolve this. So I did not trigger that ability, so it's going to discard all of my resources, which is 1 resource. Now we can discard it. Okay, so we draw a card, which is take the initiative, and we gain a resource. Cool. Well, again, it's going pretty well, which makes me nervous, as exemplified by the rest of this series so far, where things tend to go wrong when they look like they're going right. So, 4 doom out of 6. We need to start trucking a little bit and making some progress towards finding the man. So we put some distance between us and that death spirit. Okay. Encounter card is... Ooh, sorry. Drew 1 too many. Still getting the hang of this thing. Okay, let me shuffle that in so I don't know what's coming. Okay. Alright, we got a Ravenous Ghoul here, which is spawns right with me. So I got a ghoul on me. Okay, so now I basically have to make 2 agility tests. Yeah, this is gonna take up a lot of my... You know, this might be a good time to use my mind over matter. Because then I can use my intellect for both the evade test and the test on the location I'm at. So let's do that. Use my last resource down to 0. We're going to play mind over matter. Good old mom. So that is fast. Until the end of the round I can use intellect in place of combat or agility. This guy doesn't have hunter, right? Yes, I can leave him behind. I didn't have the resources to play Banish, but I probably wouldn't use it on him anyway. So I can use 5v3. But there are lots of skulls in the bag, so I should probably go up by 1 at least. So let's discard Unexpected Courage, so I'm at 7v3. And we get 0! Well, didn't need it, but that's okay. I forgot how to rotate it easily. 90 degrees. Anyway, he's evaded. We'll hold on to him and put him there. And then second action, I'm going to try to move and get out of here. Test 3. So I'll commit taking the initiative to be 7v3. Because it's at 2 icons since this is the second action. So So -3 is 4. Yep, so we pass. So with our second action, we now complete our second action to move here, and we're going to have to spend a clue to do it, which is fine. We reveal, what is this monstrosity? Labyrinth of Bones. 2 clues. Let me move Carolyn so I can see the shroud. 2 shroud, 2 clues. Put the top 3 above, below, and to the right. So below is taken, but we can put one above and to the right. Okay. And we had to spend a clue to do it. Cool. Let's see. Thinking about some of my options for third action here. I think while I'm here, I'll just grab a clue instead of keep moving, just in case. Or should I get a resource so that I can play some of these things if need be? Because if an enemy pops up, I'm a little bit in trouble. If I have banish, then I can try to banish them. Yeah, so I was going to get a clue, but let me just get a resource so that I'll start next turn with 2. That's my last action. Flip card is another Peter. Go up to 2 resources. So in hand now we have Banish, Logical Reasoning, take the initiative, and Peter. Move to the Mythos phase. 5 out of 6 Doom. Our Death Friend is coming soon. And let's go ahead and make sure that this guy is readied, although he doesn't have Hunter. If I have to go back that way for some reason, he could be a problem. Okay, let's draw an encounter card, which is... what is this thing? Eyes in the Walls. Test intellect 3. For each point you fail, take 1 horror. When assigning, it must be divided as evenly as possible among eligible cards. Okay, so... I think what we're gonna have to do then is... one second. I think what we're gonna have to do is... I'm just trying to think of whether I should commit some icons to it. But honestly, well, because the thing is I would be fine with taking horror, but if I take too much horror, then I'm going to end up discarding foolishness because I have to divide it evenly. Which is not the end of the world, but could be potentially annoying. Right now I'm at 4 to 3. Let's see, the most common result would probably be -3, which is I take 2. Yeah, let's just go naked on that. Up by 1. Ew, what's that? -2, if there's a ready ghoul, it attacks you. There's not. So yeah, that was a nice result. That's so I fail by 1. Which I can just put on Peter. Cool. And that'll heal and give me a resource. So finally getting some horror in the mix now. Okay. So, actions. I've got a decent setup here, not perfect. So, let's just get like one more clue maybe and then keep moving. So first action, we will clue. We will investigate at 5 intellect rather, versus 5v2. Yep, that's the same thing, -2, so we get a clue. Let's put on another one here. And then I think second action we're going to move and keep it moving. So that's one clue off here. And do you want to go up or to the right? Let's go to the right. Okay, so this is going to put the topmost in play to the right. And let's make sure we spend our clue for going. And that archway will let us just jump into the next location if we want. I'm kind of tempted to draw here, because if I drew, it would be kind of funny. But if I drew to fight the Black Wind, it would attach to the current agenda and then just get immediately discarded. So I'm going to be cheeky and draw here, I think. I think I'm making decent progress that I can do that without being too crazy. Ah! Okay, drew a card which is Shriveling. Okay. The end of my turn, this horror is going to heal. And because I healed on a card or an ally asset, I get a resource. Cool. So there's an enemy on the board. He does not move. So nothing in the enemy phase really. Refresh everything, draw a card. Let's see what option I get now is another double Shriveling. Okay. And up to 4 resources, so I can pay for those shrivelings. And now it gets interesting. 6 doom, that means we're gonna advance. And we have our friend here. The Spectre of Death. He spawns at the starting location, which is the Gate to Hell. Hunter and Retaliate, 3 fight and 5 health, 3 evade. When he's exhausted, he takes 1 less damage. After you fail while attempting to evade, he attacks you, so very hard to get away from. For someone like Carolyn, that means I need to make sure... Oh, and this should have been discarded a long time ago. The pit below that it was attached to Gate to Hell. That doesn't really affect anything. So he's at the starting location, the Spectre of Death. And, we're going to reset our doom back to 0. And now we're looking at... Let's fix the screen here. Sorry for making you seasick. Empire of the Undead has 12 doom threshold on it. So a good bit of time, but we can't lollygag forever. Okay. So, take a look at our map. I think first action, we're going to move. And because of stone archways, I don't have to spend a clue to do that. Ignore the text on unrevealed locations. What do we got here? Looks like 2 clues. 2 Shroud. Crypt of the Sepulchral Lamp is investigated using Will. That's okay, not as good as my intellect, but not bad. And when revealed, put the top two above and to the right. Cool. So we're getting to the part of the catacombs deck, but that the final locations that we're looking for should be somewhere here. Hopefully. Let's see, does this have any victory points? Carolyn is obscuring it. Not that we know of. We have one clue at the moment. So that was our first action. Second action, I'm going to play Shriveling just in case something hairy jumps out at me. So we go down to one resource. And this may be something where I never even end up healing or using foolishness. But, I had to try. Okay. So, let's keep it moving. And let's see. Okay. Well, yeah, let's just end the turn by investigating then, shall we? Since it's a fairly low shroud, so 4v2. Yep. I just kind of like, if you're wondering why I'm doing these little spare investigates, I kind of just like investigating to get clues along the way in case I have to move quickly. I don't want to be stuck in a situation where I have to like run away from an enemy and don't have the clues. But I'm also not bothering to clear out these locations that don't have victory points because I don't need technically that many clues to win. So I'll really focus on if there's any with victory points. Then I'll, like the one I got earlier, then I'll really worry about clearing out. So I believe that was my last. Yep. Enemy doesn't move, the ghoul doesn't, but the specter will. And it only really has one way to go if it wants to get to me, so it's going to move down there. And then we're going to refresh everything. Draw a card. Which is Mind Over Matter, not bad. We have 2 for Banish if we need it. Or I can finally play my logical reasoning. Cool. Mythos phase. 1 out of 12. Counter card is Catacombs Docent. Nearest unrevealed. I can parlay and test intellect to interpret his ravings and look at the revealed side of any catacomb in play. So, nearest unrevealed. Could be here or here, depending on where I want to go. Which way am I feeling? Let's put him up here. I think I'm going to go to the right. Or should I go up? Oh boy. Okay, let's put him here. And I'm going to go up this time. So I don't make too much of a long hallway over here. Okay. Let's move as our first action. We're going to move up. See what we get. What we get is Bone-Filled Cavern. Sorry. Trying to figure out how to get rid of these notifications so they don't pop up. 1 second. Okay, 1 second. Sorry. Just figuring out some technical stuff here. Good evening, Mortendall. So... Okay. Just figuring out some technical stuff on the back end. Okay. So we got the bone-filled cavern, 3 shroud, and 2 clues. And while you're investigating, you have 1 for your hand slot, which is fine. We're not using our hand slots. Put 2 from the catacombs deck below and to the right. Below is filled, but the right is not. So we have a nice little circle here, which is fine. This does have victory points on it, so should I try to get those clues? I think I'm going to be a little bit cheeky here. That was our first move. Second action, we're going to play logical reasoning for 2. When I have a clue... Oh, never mind. Yeah, foolishness lets you heal anything, right? Yeah, heal does everyone, Carolyn. Yeah, that's what I thought. I knew I wasn't crazy. So this lets us heal 2 if I have at least 1 clue. So we're going to heal 2 from foolishness. Now we just need to heal 1 more. And then... and then we'll be able to be in business. So I can gain 1 resource from Carolyn's ability. Yeah, just draw an elder sign, easy peasy, says Programs Above. Yeah, now I just needed a way to get the last freaking horror off foolishness. This is my mini game. It's not even really to help me. It's my mini game to make foolishness work for me. Okay, so I think lastly, I am going to investigate at 5v3. Not the best odds because of the skull tokens are like -5 by now, but we'll see. Ah, that's an auto fail. Well, got that out of my system. Enemy phase. I just want to make sure I'm not missing anything. When does Haruko come out? Is there 1 more agenda? Did I miss that? When does Haruko spawn? Is it on the act deck? Okay, I just want to make sure I didn't miss anything. Okay, yeah, it is on the act deck. Cool. I just want to make sure I didn't make a play mistake there. Cool. So... I don't know why that keeps getting crooked. Okay. So, this guy is going to move along. The other enemies on the board do not have Hunter. Nope. So, he's how many turns away from me now? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, I got some time, but I don't want to lollygag forever. Okay, refresh. Draw a card, which is... Give me something to heal foolishness. Painkillers! Well, it deals horror to me, but... it doesn't quite help foolishness. And get a resource. Gorfax, and the stream is saying I'm at work now and streaming this in my bar. Hope you don't mind. Is that for real? No, I totally don't mind, but that's pretty amazing to think about. Okay. As everyone cheers. Okay, so we're gonna get our Mythos face on. 1 too many. 2 out of 12 Doom. Draw an encounter card. Ooh, we have a friend here. Discard a humanoid enemy at any location and spawn corpse dweller at that location. Alright. And this guy does have hunter. So, I think what we're going to do is, this guy's a humanoid, I believe. Yep. This guy's a humanoid. So, let's just go ahead and discard the ghoul. So that we have some time before we have to deal with this corpse dweller. So we'll go ahead and toss him in the discard pile. Okay. How much do I want these victory points? Yeah, who would have thought that Arkham Horror had esport potential? Who indeed? Okay. Question is, how much do I want those victory points? And how much danger am I willing to put myself in to get them? I do want them. But I am also going to have to... I think the smart move is probably not to worry about them that much as it pains me to say. I also need to remind myself, is this the one, because I'm not killing the man in the Pallid Mask, probably getting clues. Which, if I remember correctly... Okay, spend the clues to advance, then you go to... Sorry, I'm doing a little looking ahead, but I have played this at leading the way. Block passage. Okay. Yeah, so this isn't the one where I have to go all the way back. Let's go ahead and keep moving ahead, and then if I have time, I'll try to get these victory points. I guess I'll play it safe. My playing of foolishness notwithstanding. Block passage. When you reveal, take 2 damage, and I cannot leave this round. Ugh. Okay. So I know I have to go down there now. 2 damage is rough for Carolyn. Can't leave. That doesn't, oh yeah. Well, this is, since I can't leave, I did spend a clue. Sounds like a good time to play painkillers then. I'm running out of slots here. Let's put it here. Spend a resource. Then we'll go ahead and trigger painkillers to exhaust. They should have some supplies on it. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Spend a supply. We exhaust it, and we take a horror to heal a damage. That works out well here. Spend a supply, heal a damage. Put a horror on our friend Peter. Cool. So I still have another... Yep, the chat is chiming in with, might as well pop some pills. Yeah. Time to pop some pills. That's what she does when she gets stuck in a block passage. Well, you know, that makes sense. Some big old rocks just fell on her and she's got to take some painkillers. With nothing else to do, I think I might as well draw last action. Yeah. Living on the edge. Liquid Courage. Cool. That allows me to heal Foolishness, does it not? Choose an investigator at your location. Yeah. Yeah, get a cat drunk! What does Carolyn do in the Catacombs of Paris? She pops pills and gets her cat drunk. Oh man, I love this game. Okay, so drew last action. Now we gotta move some enemies. Okay, this is gonna move. This is gonna move here. We are running out of time a little bit. We gotta get a move on, but I might pause to get my cat drunk at some point. Okay. Refresh what we're doing. Draw a card. And get a resource. Cool. Mythos phase, 3 out of 12. See what we get. Eyes in the walls again. We're at 4 to 3. I really don't want to have to put anything on foolishness. That would just negate all the hard work I've been doing. Oh, and this should have been discarded at the end of the turn, and I should have gotten an extra resource for that. This should have refreshed. I do miss a little bit of the auto kind of refresh of Octagon, but everything else is pretty good so far. I think I'll just pitch Peter to be at 5v3. Do I want to pitch more than that? No. If it's the skull, I'll be at... I'll have to put 1, 2, 3. It will suck for foolishness, but I guess it's not the end of the world. Okay, see what we get. 0. I passed. No horror. Oops. I think I did not want to do just discard it like that. Let's go back. Okay. I think I successfully time warped and everything should be okay, hopefully. Cool. Yeah, programs with Liz. Getting the cat drunk is always a noble goal. Okay. Let's see where I'm at. I think I gotta move and deal with this guy. I gotta get a move on. As much as I want those sweet victory points. So let's move there. Make sure I have a clue, right? Yeah, I do have a clue, so let's discard that. Let's see what's here. Candlelit tunnels. Test. I can look at revealed sign. Yeah, so it's still not what I'm looking for. Put the top 2 in the deck to the left and right of candlelit tunnels. Okay. This guy, the catacombs docent, is now going to move into my threat area. Should I parlay him to save time? Is there anything left? No, there's nothing left in the catacombs. So it's either here or here. Do I waste time? I mean... It might be worthwhile finding out, but I also could just shrivel his head off. Yeah, Martindale. So is Carolyn approaching him to do a whole psychologist routine through the parlay? Yeah. Tell me about your parents, catacombs docent. What led you to be deep below the grounds of Paris? I would be at 5v4. I could go up to 7v4 if I was really interested. But I think I should just focus on shriveling on them. Okay. So that will put us at, we're at 4. 6v3. Yeah, 4v3. It's not great. I could do 6v3, which still doesn't help against the skulls in here. But let's do it. So we're at 6v3. Ah, I knew it. I knew it. I mean, I know I'm 5 away, but let's just double check. Yeah, we're like a billion away. So that's a fail. And that is a horror that I can put on Peter. Okay, now what? I could banish him. Seems like kind of a waste, though. You see, this is where Carolyn runs into trouble with this enemy management stuff. I really hope it's that what I'm looking for is not this catacombs here. Because going all the way back will be rough. I think I just have to try to shrivel him again. I mean, I could evade with mind over matter, but I'm trying to save that for worse situations. I mean, if worse comes to worse, I might need to just use Mom next turn. But let's try a shrivel. 4v3. Should I pitch anything? I kind of want to keep my liquid courage and my shortcut and my banish. So let's just go 4v3. Ah! Got it. Dead docent. Okay, enemy phase. This guy is going to move here. This guy is going to move there. Right next to there. And yeah, that was my last action to shrivel. We'll refresh. This will go away. Get me a horror resource from Peter because he healed a horror. Eureka. Up to 5 resources. Mythos phase 4 out of 12. Grasping hands. Oh, I should have been doing some healing with painkillers too. I can do it right now if I want. I mean, it wouldn't knock me out. The worst is 3 damage, so I guess I can wait. So I'm at 3v3 with the boost. Peter gives me 3 agility, 3v3. Do I have anything that can help? I could pitch banish or shortcut or Eureka. Just pitch Eureka. I don't think I'll succeed, but at least that'll give me 4 to 3. Okay, let's try it. Elder sign! Foolishness time! Living the dream! Elder sign heals from an ally. And I don't take any damage. Alright, foolishness is fully operational now. Fully? Fully? Or fully? He's fully operational. So I get +1 to all my skills. And I trigger Eureka. That's right. So I can search the top 3. 1, 2, 3. Nope, don't want to get doomed. Sure, I'll take Alyssa. I don't have space for her, but I'll take her anyway. Cool. Yeah, sadly, the kitty decided to stay sober. Programs with those. Sadly. But from a game perspective of trying to win, it did save me some time. Okay. I have no clues, so I do need to investigate at least once. Well, with foolishness, I'm now at 4, 5, 6 to 3, which is decent, so let's try it without boosting. Cool. That's a clue. And since this doesn't have victory points, I'm just going to go ahead and move. Second action. Please be the one. It's the one, Tomb of Shadows. Nice. It didn't spawn clues automatically for some reason, but this should have 2 on it. Cool, when it's revealed, we advance the act. While the man is at the tomb, he gets +1 health and cannot be defeated by his action ability to investigate. So we're going to advance the act. So basically we come across the Tomb of Shadows, we find the stranger, he's doing weird things like the stranger does. We're going to spawn the man there. And if Haruko is not slain, we're going to spawn her at the starting location. She is not. So, but hopefully, like, we should be long gone before Haruko even gets a sniff of us. Grab the man, as you do. Put him there. Cool. So we have 1 action. Was that my first act? No, yeah, 1 action. We moved, we investigated. And we're going to investigate again. Heck yes, we are. To try to get out of here. So this has 1 victory point, 4 shroud, 2 clues. And just remind myself, we need 2 clues to advance. And we spent 1 to get in here, so we need to get those 2 clues. Okay. So we are at 4, 5, 6 to 4. I could commit Alyssa because I don't think I'm going to get a chance to get her into play. I got Peter and Foolishness who don't look close to dying. So 7v4. Cool. That's 5. That's enough. That's 1 clue. 1 more to go. As a reminder, the man is aloof, which is why he's not engaging me. And we did get 1 clue. And that's it. Now we gotta move some people. This guy's almost to me. And so's the Spectre. So next turn... And Haruko moves as well. We got a whole army. So I need to get the last clue, advance, move. I could technically maybe win this next round depending on what I draw as an encounter card, but I probably should not have said that. Probably should not have said that. Okay, let's refresh everything. Draw a card. Good courage. I have not seen my weaknesses at all. Yeah, Mortendall, I agree. Whenever the bag is so cooperative or the encounter deck, I just feel like it's just waiting for that knockout punch. But I mean, it's been pretty harsh on me this campaign so far, so I think I've owed 1 game where it goes a little easy. Hopefully. Let's see. Encounter card. Let's see what it does. Okay. That's not terrible. Discard a humanoid enemy at any location and spawn corpse. Oh, yeah, that is kind of terrible. Well, it's going to discard the man. I think he's the only humanoid on the board, which means this guy is going to engage with me. So yeah, that was pretty much the perfect card to slow me down. Unfortunately, because this guy's a monster. He doesn't discard himself. She's not humanoid, is she? No, she's a monster. She left her human body. Yeah. So unfortunately, this is going to get discarded. I remember the first time I played this, that was such like a shocking moment when it discarded the man right there. Yeah, I agree programs with wolves. I think this is exactly what Banish was made for, because he has 5 freaking health. Yeah. The problem is, do I have enough pips, icons, to pass this? So, let's take a look at Banish. You use intellect instead of agility, so it is going to go against his evade. His evade is a whopping 4. So right now we're at 3, 4, 5 to 4. I can do 6, 7 to 4. Is about the best I can do. Alternatively, I can mind over matter, evade, clue, shortcut, move, and win the game. Yeah, Banish is from the new pack, Morndal. It's yeah, it's from the pretty cool effect that lets you move them to any location in play. So I specifically brought it in for this scenario because the maps are so big that like I could shoot them all the way over here if I wanted to. The only kind of pause I have is if everything goes wrong, and let's say I have to stay here next turn, then this guy's gonna be here, and I might need to pull off 2 evades in a single turn, which is why I might want to save Mind Over Matter instead of using it now. Although I could also just take the opportunity attack. Screw it. Let's try Banish for the cool factor. I may live to regret it. We'll see. Okay. I think you guys are getting an idea for my playstyle today. With prioritizing the cool sometimes over the actually efficient. Okay. Let's go Banish. Let's that should be going down. So 6 down to 4 resources. We Banish. We're going to commit both Liquid Courages. We're going to keep our shortcut because we might need it badly. So we are at 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 with the commits. 7 to 4. +1! Bye-bye, Corpse Dweller. Yeah, we're gonna send him all the way up here, yeah? As far as he could possibly go. Oh, that card's awesome. I love Banish. It's just like, bye-bye. See you later. It kind of makes it so I'm never gonna play Blinding Light again, more than likely. But, that's fine. If it means getting a cool card like Banish. That was my first action. Second action, we're going to try to get a clue at 4, 5, 6 to 4. We don't really have anything to pitch. Okay. Man, the bag is really cooperative today. Usually when I play this scenario, I am drawing skulls left and right. Yeah, I think we can win this thing. So... Well, I forgot what happens now, so let's not speak too soon, because I do have to spend the clues to advance. So I'm going to spend to advance. And Mark 2 doubt, so I'm going to have 2 doubt in my campaign log. Remove the man from the game. He's kind of removed himself thanks to the corpse dweller. Advance to leading the way. Okay. Ignore the forest if each undefeated investigator is at blocked. Yeah, so let's do this. So we're going to play shortcut, which I've been keeping in hand for exactly this situation. That moves here. I don't think there is. Just making sure there's nothing funky on these that stops me up. Yep. And with my last action of the game, we're going to move to the block passage. And that advances us. Okay, so I follow the stranger's lead, take a circuitous route through the passageways. I end up picking skulls off the floor. It collapses into a pit of dark emptiness, grows larger and larger, and I descend into darkness, which is now gonna take me to the next scenario, which I am still blanking on the name of. What is the freaking Storm 2 agenda scenario called? Oh man, what a mental block. Someone in the chat help me out here. So, that is another victory for Carolyn. Black Stars rise, thank you. Oh god, I was gonna hit my head against the desk soon. Carolyn is successful, makes it out. Yeah, you know, solo Carolyn hasn't been too bad. She's done better than Mateo so far. Although I will say I will admit that the Chaos Bag was a little gentler than usual, but I think in the grand scale of karma it balanced out some of what happened earlier in the campaign. And other factors in our favor, charisma was nice, getting 2 allies. Early St. Hubert's Key, I think using the enemy tools wisely, holding on to shortcut, holding on to banish until I really needed it, holding on to mind over matter, that kind of collection of tools that I built up really helped me avoid the few enemies I did have to deal with and make sure that I could make it out. And foolishness, yeah, I probably could have just played like Alyssa or something when she came up, but you know, those +1s to skills at the end was useful. I'm still not going to say Foolishness is the best card in the world, but it was decent when you have charisma. So yeah. Let me see. Yeah, and I did not draw any weaknesses, which is huge. Usually I've been drawing them towards the beginning. Yeah, Fight the Black Wind, Lost Soul, Doomed, Class, they were all towards the bottom this time. Usually I'm used to drawing them beforehand. So, yeah, definitely I think it could have been a much different game if I draw... The nice thing, though, is this collection of weaknesses is not very action-intensive. So Lost Souls is the test, which if I fail is doing damage. Class can be action-intensive because it raises the cost. Doomed just deals horror to you and eventually kills you. Fight the Black Wind, like, takes away actions through putting Doom on the agenda if you can't heal horror. But generally, the setup I had with Peter, even that probably wouldn't have been a huge deal. So I think more than anything, it was that just a combination of some useful cards along the way and a gentle Chaos Bag. But more than anything, I had fun because I got Foolishness in operation and I used Banish to send a dude clear across the board. My 2 favorite moments of the game. Thanks again for joining me. Join me next time for Black Stars Rise, in which we will see if solo Carolyn's luck will hold out or if she will fall to an eventual doom. I really hope she holds out. How she does if I make it to Dim Carcosa, a doubt run, is very scary. I don't think I'll be able to pull that off, but we shall see. So thanks again for joining me for Abandoned and Alone, Mythos Busters production. Make sure you join our Discord, follow our Facebook, all that good stuff. And please let me know whether you prefer the tabletop simulator setup or if you enjoyed my old way of doing it with Octagon. Alright, I'll see you next time on Abandoned and Alone.